Whenever I meet a bunch of newbie photographers, they often ask me, do I post-process my images? Do I edit my images? Or more commonly, do I Photoshop my images? Well, I can surely tell you I don't Photoshop my images, but I Lightroom my images. So what does it mean? The moment you say you are a photographer who embraces digital photography, you're actually using a DSLR and taking pictures, and more so in the raw file format. It means you're agreeing to the fact that you are going to produce a raw file, which is a raw material for a photograph in your camera, and then you're bringing it to the second stage of workflow, which is actually post-processing it on your computer. Now people ask me, why do I need post-processing? Can I not just make a photo on the camera, and can I not become a good photographer that I don't need post-processing at all? Unfortunately, the answer is no, because the camera is not yet as good as the naked eye, so it produces results which are not as normal or not as good as the naked eye sees life. So we bring raw materials to this environment like Lightroom, and we process them in order to produce end products or outputs. Now, this process is what I call as normalization. The moment you make a raw file normal by making it look the way it was looking through your naked eye, that is what is called normalization. But then many people are afraid of a little bit of a concept called manipulation. So what is manipulation? Let's say you photographed an elephant in a place like Kabini, and you cut open the elephant from that scene and you pasted it in a different landscape. Now this is not normal, right? This is not what is called as normalization. This is where it is called as manipulation. Now, without discussing whether manipulation is good or not, it depends on each person and the kind of photography they are into, and more so it depends on the genre of photography you're into. Let's say you are a journalist and you're doing photography for a newspaper or a magazine, then manipulation is not even a word that you can think of. Whereas if you're a product photographer, you manipulate a lot to produce the best images, you remove specks on a photograph and do a lot of things which are not the way it was normally seen through the naked eye. Every photographer who presents photos to you has definitely normalized, if not manipulated images, and normalizing is not necessarily a bad thing to do. In other words, post-processing is not a bad thing to do. So please, embrace post-processing and try to be as ethical as you can with respect to your genre of photography, and that's where you become a really accomplished photographer.